Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. You know that my name is Dave. It's Chord Dave Live. Why not? Thanks for being here. Thanks to all of you for joining me this Saturday night where we're going to talk about guitars and things. So yeah, big thanks to everyone who shouted me about the Guitaristas video this week. Very cool stuff. Yeah, Colin giving me a lot of shout outs there. That was nice to see. And who knows, something might be coming in the future. But yeah, let's just talk about guitars and things. If you didn't know, this week's big release was this thing, um, the Rick Beato thing, and I'm just gonna put it out there right at the start of the video. There, or maybe I shouldn't, but just in case you haven't seen the video, you didn't know. You like this looking guitar, this kind of thing, but it's sold out, so you can't get your hands on one. You can get something quite similar to it from Harley Benton for €199. So as you can see in my awkward picture placement here, it's very similar shape-wise. It is a single P90, just in the bridge, and I'm pretty sure that did they do a two P90 version of this? I thought they did, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, if you want to click the link to home and at the very bottom of the description on any of my videos, that'll take you there as an affiliate link. And eventually the channel they make points, and if you get enough points, I think you have to make 10 million points to actually buy a guitar. But whatever, it's all good. It's all there in the description. But yeah, it's a very cool guitar. Actually, the more I looked into it this week, the more I thought I wouldn't mind one of those. But there was only 500 of them made, and yeah, it was snapped up. So I don't know if they're going to do another run. I've heard rumors that they are going to because they sold so quickly, but I don't know news yet. Anyway, we'll come back to that. For now, Saturday. Cheers to all you. Have a great night. Here's to Glenn not getting banned this week, but we'll see. Every week it's a roller coaster. Yeah, hope you're all doing well. Let's jump into the chat, see how things are going. Scott is here, of course, nice and early. So good to see you, Scott. Hope you're well. And Grandpa Joe was in as well to say cheers. Good to see you, Grandpa Joe. Hope you're well. And always good to see Al in the chat as well. And thanks for dropping in, Al. Some weird looking dude called Chord Dave said something as well. So just in case you're not aware, once the link goes up, the chat pretty much starts. So you can check in there. And if you're new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. You've got to be subscribed for at least 60 seconds before you can join the chat. And then off you go. You can just chat as much as you want. So make sure you're subscribed. There's a lot of new subscribers this week. So if you're one of them, just make sure you introduce yourself to us in the chat today as well. Yeah, hope all of you new folks don't get scared off. Don't worry about it. Nearly everything has a good story, which will be revealed at some point, but some quirky stuff pops up from time to time around here. Ryan Byrne, good to see you. Ryan, hope all is well over there with you. Scott says, I almost bought a Squire Mini Strat today. Why would you do such a thing, Scott? That's an interesting choice. Al says, the Mini makes a good travel guitar, don't you think? Together with the Fender Micro Mustang. I do love the Fender Micro Mustang. It's a great little device. Yeah, a lot of cool features on it. My favorite thing to do with it is plug it into the computer and just run straight through that. So works really well once you get it all set up. Very cool stuff. And Scott saying, I was just thinking about being able to span 7 frets, 22.75 inch scale. So there you go. Yeah, that would probably be a selling point. They should promote more of that that as a feature. Ryan says, I'm waiting to hear back from a friend who got the Beato model. He wants to return it as it wasn't his thing, but agreed to sell it to me for what he paid. Very cool. Not really my thing either, but might as well. Yeah, listen, I think that's one of those. I think once you get all the different guitars and influences that they've put into it, I think it might actually feel really nice. I don't know. I'd like to get one to see, but I think I like it. I've got to say, at first I was a bit underwhelmed. I was like, so what? It's only a special. But no, the more I see it, the more I do like it. So yeah, good stuff. Let me see. Brian also said, I think it's overpriced and the charity thing is BS, but it's cool and maybe I can flip it. It is overpriced for sure. As for a USA model special, I don't think $2,000 is a good price. But then again, everything's overpriced right now. So yeah, I'm not surprised. The charity thing, it's hard to criticize, but at the same time, like with 500 models, how much are they actually kicking in to each or to the charity? You got to imagine it's what, 3-4% of each guitar, so at most. So yeah, not a huge amount going in there, but it sounds good. It's a good marketing spin, and I like it. The guitar, it is. I mean, Al says, I'd make an offer, but I need more cash, being that it's a cross between an SG and LP. I think it's rightly priced. Well, there you go. It's a modified LP special. I don't really know. I think if it were 200 to 300 less, that'd be fair. I agree with you, Ryan. I think my initial thoughts on this would that it would be in around 1,600 or so. It being flat €2,000, yeah, it would probably put me off picking it up. Absolutely. Ryan says Jimmy could do 7 on a Strat. I forget the song, but he's done it. Buckethead sure could. I'm pretty sure Buckethead's not human, and that's how he can do it. So, yeah, good stuff. What's the MSRP on it? On the Beato, it's €2,000. I'm not sure what it is, and I think it's pretty much the same in dollars minus taxes. And then what do you call it in England? I'm not sure how much it is, or the UK. And for the info, the Beato guitar is now in reverb between 3.5 and 3,900. Next production in January. Interesting, Al. There's just some good info for there right there, because the last I heard, I was speaking to somebody recently, like in the last 12 hours, who was saying that he doesn't know if they're going to do another production run, but that if you've got information there, that's super cool, because I think I would like to pick one up. We'll see. Ryan says MSRP was around 2,600 plus tax. 2,920 he wants if he hasn't realized he could sell it for more. And that's for Canadians, so very cool. Yeah, look, that's it's one of those things as well, because it's such a limited model, and I think I actually was considering that it would maybe be 200 to 300 models of this one. So yeah, for 500, it's more surprising they've priced it as they did, but hey, that's what they did. How many pieces have you made? Thought it was limited. Yeah, 500 in total. Ryan says it's iffy buying something just to flip it. There's such a short window. Those Rocky Strats sold for a premium for a week, and now they're less than retail. Yeah, flipping is, you got to be quick, because those prices just start coming straight back down after the first week or two. So for sure, if you're going to buy something to flip it, just be super quick with it. Although I don't condone doing that sort of thing. But yeah, I would do it if I got a chance. What do you think Rick would have made off it if he kept the money? Yeah, not a lot for 500. And he's not a big enough name, I think, to command more money from Gibson either. So I think he probably would have made, I know, maximum a couple of hundred off each guitar, more likely less than 100 per guitar. So you're talking 5,000-6,000 most probably. Ryan says the royalties he's donating don't matter, they go to the charity he runs. He gets paid a consult fee for sure from Gibson, salary from charity, tax breaks, also sells his own books to his charity. Okay, I didn't know that. It's interesting. Yeah, seems to be all connected somehow. Interesting. Yeah, I do one thing with Rick Beato that I wish he would stop doing is like doing videos about songs, then promoting all his stuff throughout those videos, getting a copyright strike, and then making a video complaining about getting a copyright strike. I think he's really great. I think he makes great videos, but those copyright strike videos, like, they're coming. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, they're coming. So it's not a surprise to any of us. But hey, everything else he does is really, really good. So Ryan says that's the standard scheme, the same thing Rob Chapman tried to do. Oh well, we won't. Don't open that can of worms. Yeah, Rob Chapman, he's cool. Scott says, for anyone new here, if you want to talk in live chat, you got to be subscribed for a minute, indeed. And if you get out of line, Scott's going to kick you out. He might kick you out. We'll see what happens. Marsha's here. Good to see you, Marsha. Hope you're well. It says, hey, dudes and dudettes, said with a LA Valley girl accent. They definitely don't have a... I don't have it either. Posting to Twitter, remember to hit the thumbs up, share the stream too. It really helps spread the word. It does indeed. Yeah, thanks so much for that, Marsha. Glad to have you here as always. Scott says, by the way, I'm now managing an awesome guitar player, so You want to buy a guitar player? Let me know. Is that how it works? I think that is how it works, says Ryan. Yeah. How much per pound? Interesting. All right. Well, who's the awesome guitar player? Is it yourself? Are you managing yourself? Um, when I worked in the film business a little bit and was working in the screenwriting side of things, there would always be people come in and be like, I'm a manager and I'm managing myself. It doesn't work that way, pal. So yeah. Anyway, under my management, he'll be starving. There you go. So I'm selling him per riff or song. Never managed anything before other than a warehouse. Warehouses don't fire you if no jobs come in. That's true. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting new job, I suppose. Yeah, good luck with that. All the best, and let us know how to check him out and stuff like that, because that'll be interesting. If he's got some videos, I'm sure a lot of us would check it out for you and see what we can do. Marcia says, Scott, well, if that strategy doesn't work, you can always send him to New York to become a rock star themed pimp. I didn't think it was going there. That's a sure moneymaker. I know why, but when I was reading that comment, I thought it was going to say to make him become a stripper. Either way, I mean, a rock star themed pimp, I guess that works too. And Glenn Bailey is here. It's good to see you as always, Glenn. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Yeah, super cool. Everyone's here. Glenn says, did you see the Collins Joe Strummer video? He mentioned Dave a few times. That is Guitarist, in case anyone's not sure. And yeah, it was super cool. I just watched it this afternoon because honestly, a lot of you were sending me messages and telling me it was, he mentioned me a few times, which is always nice. But Collins super cool, and yeah, great stuff from Guitarist there. The guitar looks very nice, to be honest with you. And I'm not a big Relic fan, but yeah, it sounded great when he's playing it anyway. So great stuff from Colin there. T-Ball's here. What up, guitar freaks? He says, yeah, good stuff, Anthony. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always good to see you pop in the chat there. Let me see. Say what? Didn't see that. Oh, that's just more questions about who's Colin. He also made his own replica a while back. Looked good. It did. It didn't look too bad at all. But yeah, the stickers, when he said he was going to put stickers on it, had a bit of a cringe moment. I was like, I don't know. Not on a made in Mexico that costs that much. But yeah, it's a pretty cool guitar still. Matt Von Bosch is here. Good to see you, Matt. Hope all is good with you. Says, looks like the Beato model has become a talking point. I was surprised at the price, but it's sold out everywhere. Are we likely to see crazy used prices in future? Yeah, absolutely. The video for that has done really well. It's like my #1 video for the last 6 weeks, which is great. But in terms of crazy prices, yeah, definitely. It's going to be for the next few weeks. It's going to be huge. Whether they release a new, it was Al said that they're going to do another run in January. If they do, that'd be great because they'll come back out at $2,000 again. But yeah, not sure. I would just keep an eye on it from Gibson for the next while. They've been so popular, I think people will kind of demand a second run. Mars says, I have no clue who that is either, but I'd love to see the link. Just Guitarist, that's who you want to check out their latest video on the Joe Strummer Telecaster. Glenn Bailey says, Geek Lord seems a little put off when reviewing it. Well, some people can handle nice pieces of wood and some people can't. So there you go. Marcia, you didn't watch the last few episodes of Guitarist. Well, that is your personal choice. That's fine. But you should definitely. It's cool videos for sure. Let me see. Ryan says, I think to Matt, yeah, I think initially, yeah, then they'll even out for prices. Yeah, you're right. I might maybe getting one today for retail, and if I do, it's getting sold right away. There you go. Why not? William Forrest is here. Good to see you, William. Thanks for dropping in. Saying hello to everybody there. And Mark says, yeah, he was real snotty about the guitar review. He doesn't have to like it, but he didn't have to act like a douchebag about it. Let me guess. Geek Lord. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to be the first YouTuber with a Gibson signature guitar. I think Rick's the first YouTuber with a signature guitar from Gibson. There's other YouTubers with signatures with other companies, but I think Rick's the first Gibson. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's just upset about it. But hey, I don't know. I haven't watched this video. tend not to too often. I did watch a couple of his videos this week though, and yeah, not that one though. But anyway, he's entitled to not like stuff. It's all good. Let me see. Todd Moore is here as well. Good to see you, Todd. Hello, all. Hey there, Dave. You're officially big time now. Colin talking you up. Hope you're all well today. TCD family. Yes, indeed, Todd. Yeah, Colin and I think have a mutual respect for what we each do on YouTube, and I think he's fantastic. He's one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I think he puts out some of the best guitar content, and sometimes I get lucky and put out news. So there you go. He's super cool. Really love his content. Really love the guy. I think he's cool. So hopefully we'll get to do something together soon. And I saw in the comments Scott recommended something about us doing an interview type thing over Zoom, and that's a great idea. It's something I've thought about, and I think we're going to talk about it pretty soon. But also Colin had a great idea in his response, saying maybe if we both go to NAMM next year, we'll do some stuff together, and I think that's a great idea. I'm definitely planning on going to NAMM next year, so we'll see how that comes along. And yeah, I'm glad a lot of you guys watch Colin's channel because it's great stuff. It's always nice to get a shout out like that as well from somebody. So very cool stuff. Thank you to Colin for that. Ryan says it's a pretty cool HB. It is. I like it. Although weirdly, that one that's in this picture, they list this as having it being limited to 250 copies worldwide, but it's been for sale for like a year and a half maybe. So I don't know. And look, what you could do if you weren't averse to doing a little bit of work is it'd be fairly easy to get the right pick guard, get a second P90, do a bit of work, pop it in there, or get somebody who's actually good at doing that work if it's not you. It wouldn't take that much to put in a second P90 and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, 199. There you go. Anyway, I'm sure Gibson did not appreciate that part of my video, but there you go. You gotta not give a shit about Gibson thing. Asian Redneck is here. Good to see you. I hope you are well. Says howdy Dave and all. I didn't forget about you all. Just been wicked busy. Won't be able to stay long today either. Well, hey, it's good to have you drop in, and don't worry, busy happens. So yeah, just always good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you're doing well, and yeah, let us know all the time when you get to pop in. Good to see you. Mar says I really like the Beato guitar. Personally, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it is exactly what he's wanted for years, well before Gibson asked. Very playable. Yeah, as I said in the video, I like that he kind of combined three guitars. He even managed to get them to make it thinner, as inspired by his SG. I thought that was a great move. Yeah, the special he has, the double cut special he has, seems like a really nice guitar. And then of course, putting it in the best color he possibly could have. It's all good. So yeah, it's a really nice looking guitar. I'd love to get my hands on one, but yeah, again, crypto still hasn't worked out. But we're waiting. We're being patient. Unfortunately, not a virtue that I usually subscribe to, by the way. T-Ball says I'm not a big fan. I'm just not a big signature guitar fan. I customize my guitars to suit my playing. Yeah, absolutely. Look, that's the thing. A lot of people, I think, will agree with you on when it comes to signature guitars. I think, it's nice to know, oh, this artist has signed off on this guitar as being similar to their guitar, but it's never going to be the same because you don't have a professional guitar tech looking after everything unless you are a professional guitar tech. But yeah, it's very unlikely that you're going to have anything that's exactly like that person's guitar, even if it's a signature model. And it is just an endorsement of basically something that looks like what they play. But when it comes to it, if you're a fan of somebody, you can pretty much just get a guitar and make it look like that person's. But yeah, if you're not averse to doing a bit of work, you can make anything look or feel like and seem like anything else. So but knowing my luck, I would mess up like all of it. So best not for me to do it. Todd says Geek Lord bitched about the guitar. Is it overpriced? It's a Gibson, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Good point. Yeah, I must watch his video actually, Geek Lord. And if you're new around here, Geek Lord is a large YouTube subscriber count wise large. goes by a different name. You'll probably figure it out throughout the show. But yeah, he gets a lot of guitars, sends a lot of guitars, sells a lot of guitars, and apparently didn't like Beato's signature. So there you go. Ryan says, I prefer it if it were a Beato sig. There you go. If it weren't, maybe. But let me see. Marge says, I have to go watch it, Todd, but that's super awesome. And Ryan back in with, I bought a super nice pink Squire Mini. More for myself, though. Well, there you go. That sounds like a cool one. T-Balls thinks it's way overpriced. Well, look, I do think it's overpriced. I won't disagree with that at all. Matt says, as it's been so successful, maybe we'll see another Beato Gibson. He definitely has a white LP custom, an LP classic, and a blue standard. The blue standard is really nice, yeah, for sure. T-Ball says the charity thing sounds like BS from the start. Well, yeah, it's always questionable when Gibson are involved. The Gibson Tribute DC Junior is a lot cheaper and has a gloss finish. I like the satin Beato finish a lot more, but it isn't that cheaper to make than the Tribute's gloss. Yeah, more than likely. That's from Todd, by the way. Yeah, more than likely, I would say sometimes they mix those two up, like Muddy H2O recently pointed out to me there was some Gibsons with a VOS finish and what was the other one? Anyway, either way, they had them mixed up. Whichever way it was a good while ago. Brain's not working too well, so I can't remember. But he definitely was pointing out that they seem to charge more for the cheaper finishes for some reason. But there you go. Ryan says, I'm okay with it because he has all the features. It has all the features I like. If I can flip it for a bit of profits, that's a bonus. But I'm okay if I get stuck with it. I think that, yeah, that's the way to do it, Ryan. If you're okay getting stuck with it, great. Because, you know, I think there's a huge market for these, though. And with only 500, in a lot of ways, seeing how the market reacted, I think that they could have sold a couple of thousand of these, no problem. Whereas there's other signature models that they don't quite figure out the market beforehand. And also probably because these were marketed, like essentially marketed for 18 months. Like we knew these were coming for a long, long time. I knew the date this was coming out months ago. So, you know, people were ready to snap them up and were very quick off the mark. The tip is to be on whatever guitar website you want at like 6 a.m. There was loads of them there on Tuesday when they came out. So yeah, that's my tip of the day for you guys. Batfink 2 is here. Good to see you, Batfink. Hope everything's well. And saying greetings, fellow rodents of rock and roll. Indeed. Always glad to see you. It's always a better show when you drop in. So thanks for dropping in and saying hello. William says the Beato guitar is worth about 800 and a pittance to charity. Well, to be honest, it is a student model, essentially. The whole idea of the special initially was that it would be a cheaper version. But now it's 2,000 and more expensive than a lot of models that they do make. So yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think you can probably pick up a standard, like a regular special for about 800 on the used market. An older one maybe, but not too old, of course, because then they become more expensive because they're vintage, or so people will tell you. Anyway, yeah, I don't disagree. I think there's definitely a premium because it's a signature model and so forth that they've put onto it there. Marcia says, why is the charity thing BS when they say proceeds? That means whatever Beato and Gibson would have earned on top of the supplies and labor costs. The donated funds is, I think you're saying there, I think the donated funds is more than you think. I mean, you can work it out pretty much. Like there's 500 times 2,000, which is what? That's some amount of money, what, $1 million? It's about 3%, 4% of what Rick would have got. He specifically said his proceeds. So I don't know if Gibson are chipping in theirs as well. But yeah, look, I don't know the ins and outs, but I think Ryan put up some information there about it's going into certain charities that are connected to people and so forth and so on and so forth. So who knows? I don't want to talk too much. It's a nice guitar. That's all I can say about it, really. Glenn says the Beato has nice specs, but it's so light. Yeah, it's like an SG, so I like it. Batfing 2 says, Isn't Beato in the club? Funny aprons, rolled up trousers. That's how you get your own guitar made. Maybe indeed. It's a good shout, I think. A good shout. And Ryan says, Marcia, there's all sorts of ways around that. So yeah, it could be. Margaret says, Carl mentioned you on his channel. And which Carl is that? My brother Carl? Because yeah, he should. He owes me lots of back rent on the channel. So yeah, good stuff. But if there's a different Carl, let me know, because I want to reach out and say thank you if they did. Let me see. Benny's here. Good to see you, Benny. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. And Richard Clark is here as well, who is always good to see. Richard says, being light is huge plus for most guitars, in my opinion. It certainly helps with resonance. I like a lighter guitar, I'm not going to lie. That's why I don't currently have a Les Paul. And when I do pick one up, it'll probably be a Les Paul Plus, which Gibson, feel free to reissue anytime you want. And make it a bit easier to get a gold top with P90s this time. Just saying. Although I did miss out on one a couple of weeks ago. There you go. Anthony says the donation charity is the bare minimum, not really amounting to anything. Just my opinion. It's all about marketing. It doesn't hurt the marketing, does it? I mean, you know, when people are like, oh, if I buy this guitar, money's going to charity. I think it makes it a little bit easier to open up that wallet. So yeah, definitely a good shout from them. Marge says, yeah, but Dave, Beato shouldn't get that copyright strikes if he's using that content for educational purposes. Beato is actually correct. He's abiding by US copyright laws and YouTube rules. Well, technically he is, but he also is promoting his own product within the video, which then makes it that he's using those songs for advertising. It technically, in one side, he's okay, and technically I can understand why he gets all those copyright strikes, to be perfectly honest. I guarantee if he made a video educational wise about those songs and didn't say, hey, buy my book or buy my course or buy this or buy that, he wouldn't get any copyright strikes. Guarantee. I say guarantee. I would put 90% on it. He's not going to get the copyright strikes if he's not selling his own products during, even though he's doing educational bits on the songs and stuff. Because people are not watching for anything other than the content he's making about the songs. So like somebody who's never seen his channel will click on it because it says, you know, whatever, reimagining Shook You All Night Long or whatever it is. So people will watch for that, and then they're being sold his book, and that's why he's getting the copyright strikes, guaranteed. But anyway, it's his channel. He can do what he wants, and good luck to him. As I said, I like his videos an awful lot. So, you know, I just wish he wasn't getting hit with them. And I think that's how he stops making the companies, you know, give him copyright strikes. Ryan says to Anthony, exactly. They could make up all sorts of excuses to shrink the profits. Indeed, they could. Indeed, they could. Glenn says, I've always liked heavier guitars, but I do like the way a light guitar feels. Nice. So you like both. You like both, Glenn, is what you're saying. You like heavy and light. You like both ways. All right, cool. Good to know. Scott says, who pimps the pimps? Very interesting question. Very interesting question. Scott, that's your job as the guitar pimp's pimp. Interesting. So yeah. Yeah, we'll have to find out more about this guitarist that Scott is the manager of now. In a weird twist, is it Todd Moore? Because Todd Moore is a guitarist, so I'm wondering if he is now under the management of Scott Bogfoot. That would be quite interesting. I'd like to see you two collaborate. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. But if not, hey, there's other guitarists that are available as well, I suppose. All right, let's check out what else we've got. T-Ball says, just got the new Ozzy album. If you're an Ozzy fan, this is one of his best. Check it out. You won't be sorry. Very cool. Haven't checked it out yet. I'm sure Todd Moore has it because he is an Ozzy fan supreme. So I'm sure he'll let us know what he thinks as well. Super fan, I think, of Ozzy, and rightly so. Let me see. Badfink says, Marsh, you should just be grateful I came in. Absolutely, I am grateful. So yeah, absolutely, Marshall, you should be grateful Batfink is here. Todd steps in and says, I've been an absolute Ozzy Osbourne fanatic since 1982. Love the album. Love seeing Ozzy so much better after surgery and performing again. Yeah, it's great to see him getting out there and doing some gigs and stuff. And hopefully, I'll get to listen to the album hopefully this week. So much going on, but as I work from home, I can stick the music on, so it's not too bad. T-Ball says, if I'm spending $2,000 on a guitar, it'll be a PRS. Yes, I'm a PRS fanboy. Excellent. Yeah, they make very cool guitars. Something I was wondering about today, actually, and because I was watching Colin's video on the Joe Strummer Telecaster, was the PRS don't do relic'd guitars, do they? I don't recall seeing any, so that's an interesting thought I had, because I consider them the third big boy, like Gibson, Fender, and then PRS, and then there's like all the other big brands as well, but come under those three for me anyway. But yeah, I would not have a problem spending that kind of money on a PRS, because they make great guitars. So yeah, absolutely agree with you there, Anthony. Baffing says, etc. equals those whose names I forgot or couldn't type. This keyboard is jamming up on me. That's fine. Just refer to them as the unworthy. I think that's don't do that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You're all worthy. You're all worthy. Marge says, T-Ball, I'm going to listen through the Ozzy album later tonight. I love the singles that were released. Some of the singles were very cool. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely worth checking out. Robert Gallagher is here. Good to see you, Robert. Hope you are well. Saying hello to everyone. Greetings, Earth creatures. I did think I saw a UFO today, and you might have seen Todd sent me an article about a shooting star kind of thing. Whatever it was, looked kind of alien to me. So yeah, make sure you're checking the skies, because there's stuff up there. I'm telling you. Muddy H2O has sent in a super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, finally renounced my Canadian citizenship. Oh, and I don't care for satin finishes. They seem too much like Dave's shaven legs. I told you about my shaven legs in confidence, good sir. So thank you so much for your super chat. But go back to Canada. No, all good. Thank you, sir, and good to have you back wherever it is you're supposed to be, which I'm pretty sure is pretty much Canada anyway. So yeah, we won't go into that in too much detail. T-Ball says, Margin, not a bad song on that record. You were in for a treat. Very cool. Looking forward to it even more now, actually. Actually, I don't think I realized that album had been released yet. So there you go. Batfink says, I'm no longer an Ozzy fan. Him and his DB wife have ripped off hundreds of people. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about how he's done it or what's happened, but yeah, I'm sure Todd will be able to tell us what's going on, because Todd, obsessive Ozzy fan, so we'll see what he says. Richard says, once Gibson sees the reaction to these specs, they will release something similar at a better price point, even if it isn't a Beato Sig. Yeah, hopefully, I hope they do, because it's a very cool spec guitar, I think. So hopefully they'll do something a little bit more normal. But we might be waiting a while. As far as I know, they've got everything tied down. They want to release for the rest of the year anyway. Ryan says, didn't Geek Lord talk about how he wanted a Sig in one video? Had it all designed and spec'd and everything? Probably. Yeah, probably thought he was going to get one. Maybe that call has been made. Maybe he didn't expect to be beaten to market. Maybe there's one coming, I don't know, but that would be a thing. Anyway, I hope it's a Spotlight special, or whatever he calls it, the Spotlight thing. Yeah. Margaret says, oh geez, I said Carl and I meant Colin. It's okay. Carl's a good name as well. As I said, it's my brother's name. So and he's got a movie channel on YouTube. You should check that out. It's called Carl's Movie Show, I think. So yeah, check that out as well. But yeah, good stuff, Margaret. No worries. And Batfink says, beside the one time I saw him live, we had waste bucket fans puking all around us, and my family never again. Well, there you go. Yeah, if people are puking around, that's not too good. 3-chord Guitaristas NAMM Extravaganza 2023. Cool. Well, you never know. You never know. It sounds like an interesting title for some videos. Todd, yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. And Scott says, so the HB is twice as exclusive as the RB. Yes, indeed. But the difference being you can still buy the HB and and yeah, modify it yourself. I mean, it's very close. It's very close. So, you know, you could do some things with it. I think they still have the single cut version with the 2 pickups, and it looks very, very similar to that layout in terms of the pickups and everything, and the controls and the whole lot. So you can check that out on Thomann.com. A link is in the very bottom of the description of all the videos. But there you go. Yeah, only 250. That must have been a mistake, because no way they only sold less than 250 of them in the last year, 18 months maybe. Anyway, T-Ball says, remember when you had to be an actual performing artist to get a signature guitar? Missed those days. Yeah, and it's something I mentioned in the video the other day. You know, I think it's good in some ways, because a lot of the younger kids, like, they're not buying albums anymore. They're listening to songs on playlists that are spinning out at them, or TikTok is playing a song and it's getting popular, and then they're looking it up on Spotify or Apple or whatever. And yeah, and you get people like Rick, who's got a huge following, 3.5 or what, just over 3 million, and he's 500 guitars. They were pretty much guaranteed to sell. I could probably sell 2 guitars, so I'm not going to get a signature model anytime soon. But and one of those would be me buying it. So, you know, but it would be a cool guitar. It'd be cool SG, I promise you. But yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things. I think it's a good move, to be honest, because I don't know who they're going to go to other than older artists nowadays to get signature models. I know guitar is coming back, but right now, who are they going to in the younger market? I'm not sure there's those big superstars coming through. Could be wrong. They can't just rely on Greta Van Fleet or whoever, who I don't listen to, but, you know, I know that they own guitars. and think that they're Aerosmith crossed with Led Zeppelin, whatever. Batfink says, T-Ball, now you just have to be connected, funny handshakes, etc. I'm trying to learn all the funny handshakes, but the ones I learn on YouTube are just not doing it for me. And I even tried to look like Mark Agnesi with a cool beard, and it didn't work either. Ryan says, only the real players can get that HB, Scott. Yeah, that's true. Gotta be a real player. Todd says, it's 4:19 here, back in a minute, wink wink. I wonder what he's referring to. Good stuff, Todd. Yeah, take your time, and you know, roll it nice and just enjoy yourself. Baving says, T-Ball, it's mostly that way. Sad enough. True indeed, it is mostly that way. Pretty soon we'll be seeing Gibson signature truss rod covers. Don't give them ideas, Ryan, because they'll do it. They will do it. Kiefer Sutherland has a signature guitar. I was surprised about that. He's a hell of a player, but he's still known as an actor, not a guitarist. He had a bit of a band going at one point, though, didn't he? Or am I thinking of someone else? But I think he went on tour and he was playing Gibsons, so they gave him a signature. Back in the Henry J era, you know, pretty much anyone who played a Gibson on a stage, they would give a signature to. So I suppose it hasn't really changed now too much. Do anyone remember the name of the guitarist that used to play a dollar cymbal guitar in the 70s or 80s? No. Doesn't ring a bell with me. Let me see. Marge says, I think to Batfink, I'm sorry you feel that way about the Prince of Darkness. Not sure why you say he and Sharon ripped people off, but that's the music biz for you, sadly. And Batfink says, cause it's true. So there you go. They have their own production company and a smaller record company, and have signed many smaller acts who never see the work released. There you go. And Muddy H2O steps in to correct me, of course, and says VOS was more expensive than Gloss. While all the VOS is them not doing a few of the final steps to get it fully glossed. So more expensive, less work. Go Gibson, yay. Of course, we all know Woody H2O, Gibson fanboy, to the max. He's a maximalist for Gibsons. Will never change and will never enjoy a guitar that's not got Gibson written on it. So just be aware of that when he says anything about any other brands. Richard says, I know the same guy who made Jerry Garcia's 5 major Animal guitars made the dollar guitar, but I can't remember his name or the artist. Yeah, I think you're right about made the same the Animal guitars. Those are pretty cool. Badwing says, I'll shut up for now though. It could be their religion. Who could be? And Badwing, you're in a bit of a mood. Hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit. So there you go. And now Todd's coming in. So Sharon and Ozzy did not rip people off. A stupid company that produces that NFT bullshit did that. Now could they have done more to help fans get their dollars back? Maybe. Don't know. Don't care. There you go. That's my attitude to most things. Don't know and don't care. Todd says, my take on it is, if you're dumb enough to buy an NFT, you should lose. I know lots of dumb people who bought NFTs. One of them got extremely rich off them. So yeah, I can understand though. I don't get it. I don't get the whole NFT thing. But yeah, I know somebody who bought and sold a good few, and gave up his job because he had enough money. So there you go. Opportunity. I guess if you can understand why these things are selling, figuring it out. But yeah, it was way beyond me. So yeah, I would tend to agree with you, Todd. Somebody explained recently to me that NFTs are not supposed to be about pictures. They're supposed to be about like essential documents, like your insurance documents and your passports and your stuff. Like in the future will all be NFTs. I don't see why Gibson and Fender are both trying to start an NFT collection. Probably just get money out of you for nothing. But there you go. We'll talk about that when they release them. There will be videos made, of course. Ryan says you can get a 2012 to 2017 special with binding non-tribute for about $1,200 USD. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounds like the right price point, to be honest. And Al says, don't believe Gibson is chipping in. There you go. Who we got here? Muddy H2O, yet another super chat. Says, all my future Gibson guitars will say Collings on the headstock. When is that PRS arriving? I'm not buying a PRS. I told you. I might buy something soon. Guitar Money is ready and waiting almost for a new release that's coming in the next 3 weeks. But you've all seen it before, so I'm not going to go too much into it. Glenn says, yeah, Al, I don't think Gibson is chipping in anything to the charity unless they finally get some of that Dean lawsuit money. Oh, that's a subject. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to see any of that anytime soon, but who knows? Todd says, my Epi SG is light and strings like the Angels. Sings like the Angels, in fact, not strings. But yeah, that's only because you're playing it, Todd, and you know how to make it sound cool. And Richard says, hey, Scott, have you heard of a band called $27 Snap on Face? It looks their guitarist played that guitar. What? Is that the name of the band? That's interesting. Ryan says Gibson wouldn't donate anything. And Todd says, I'll never have a copy strike. Don't play the songs well enough for them to be recognizable. That's absolutely my approach. That's why I'm terrible at playing guitar on YouTube, so that I don't get copyright strikes. That's the only reason. Margaret says, hey Scott, I'm so bad with names. I keep thinking this channel is named 3 Chord Doug. All right, I'm going to be called 3 Chord Doug for a long time now. I know that. But thanks, Margaret. Actually, funnily enough, people throughout my whole life have called me Mark. No reason. I know I don't look like Mark Agnesi that much. But yeah, my whole life, people were like, hey, Mark. And in fact, I used to work in a job where I had my name on a nameplate thing, name badge. And people would still come up to me and be like, hey, Mark. So, for years, always. So yeah, Doug is not the worst thing I've been called. Constantly get called names other than Dave. So there you go. Marcia says, Al, they would not legally be allowed to say all proceeds going to charity if any profit were being made by any involved parties. I just heard, now, I might have missed something. I just heard Rick saying in the video that his proceeds were going to charity. I didn't hear all proceeds. So, look, they probably do. If you've seen that, then yeah, you're 100% right. They can't legally be taking the profits without giving them to charity. Although it is Gibson, so would I put it past them? Anyway. Richard says to Todd, yes, all my light guitars are just beautifully voiced and sound good before you amp them. I finally just started looking for light guitars. It makes a big difference. It really does in terms of heaviness. Guitars that are too heavy, they're just not comfortable. So I mean, look, at the same time, other people prefer heavier guitars. So I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things, subjective. Each person will have a different view on it. But anyway, Ryan says Beato donates to his own charity, uses funds to buy books and materials from his own private business. If that's what's going on, then there you go. Batfink says, I shouldn't have got a flu and feeling rough, so gonna have to lie down and stay well. Catch you all next time. Batfink, take care of yourself. Be well, my friend. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello to us, even though you weren't feeling 100%. Appreciate that so much. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Glenn says, did anyone see the new orange pedals released this week? They're 70s size. They're big boxes, 70s SIG, a big muff and big, but they get great sound. But they sound great, I should say. I know, can't read things tonight. Don't know what the rest of the show is going to be like, lads. But no, I've seen the videos. I've seen a couple of videos. I think Anderton's did a video. I'm way behind. So there you go. We're way behind this week, but I'll check that out probably tomorrow. And see what I think of them. But yeah, sounds promising. Sounds promising. Let me know what you think of them. Todd says to Scott, I think Dave is trying to hook us up, dude. Yeah, listen, just get my pals to I'll arrange in an orderly fashion to be managed by Scott. I think that'll work out for all of us. Mar says, I'd like to know how tons of people play music on YouTube constantly and don't get strikes. Like all the people playing cover songs of their guitars or posting practice vids. There is a way of doing it, and I think it comes down to like how you put credits and stuff in their descriptions and stuff. There's if you just look up on YouTube how to legally play covers on your channel, you can get away with it. There's certain procedures you have to do, but also I don't think you can monetize stuff unless it's educational. If you're teaching people, you can still put ads on it, but they can still copyright strike you, and then you have to try and fight the claim if you're saying it's for educational purposes. And there's a few acts that doesn't matter. They will slap a copyright strike on you if they think you're thinking about making a video about their song. I believe AC/DC are particularly strict if you try to put any AC/DC stuff. So a lot of people are putting stuff on Instagram, and I don't know if TikTok they're doing it, but on Instagram people are putting stuff up because you're less likely to get a copyright strike there, and I don't think it matters as much over there, even if you do. So here on YouTube, yeah, there's a way of doing it. You have to follow certain rules, and it's not something I'm interested in doing, so I'm not 100% up on it. But yeah, as long as you're not promoting something though by doing it, you're okay as far as I'm aware. One of the big things is you're not allowed to promote anything by you and during your song or by playing that song. Ryan says, feeling sick myself, but see you next week. Well, sorry to hear that, Ryan. Hope you feel better also. Glenn says, to set things straight, I like heavy guitars. One of my other personalities likes lighter guitars. It's cool, Glenn. You let it slip earlier. We're just going to have to hold you to what you originally said. It's fine. Marcia says to Scott, you have posted vids for years of you playing copyrighted songs on your guitar. How haven't you been banned to high hell? There you go. Maybe Scott knows the secrets. Let me see. Al says, to be honest, I don't really care that Beato is donating his proceeds, nor do I care if Gibson does or does not donate. I feel the guitar, I like the guitar, and I think it's priced right, and it does come with a case. True, it does come with a case. The most important thing is if you like it and you feel like it's the price you're willing to pay, that's all that matters. Personally, I do not like the truss rod cover. It's the one thing I don't like. I would take that off, just put a plain one on. And yeah, other than that, I think it's a really nice guitar. So that's what I would make my decision on. There you go. And Al says, like I said earlier, currently don't have the cash, but my eye is looking at the SG first. And there are some cool SGs coming later in the year, I believe. So keep an eye on what they're going to be doing with that. Richard Virginia says, PRS guitars are too beautiful to relic. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. It's just a weird thing. I hadn't thought about it before that I haven't seen any relic ones, but who knows? Maybe that's where they're going to go in the future. And let me see. Al says, can't say which when the cash is there. Yeah, that's true. That's keep that to just it's a good reason to keep looking at videos and things and checking out new guitars. Scott says, nope, my guy is totally unknown. He could go big if he had a competent manager. Shame that. Yeah, if he got himself a competent manager, he'd be fine. Good stuff, Scott. No, I appreciate letting us know. And yeah, as I said, like if he has some videos or something, share it with the group, and we will definitely support and check it out. Because that's what we do around here, support our own. Richard says, to set things straight, I like guitars and pedals and amps and beans. I'm pretty sure all those things go together, Richard. So yeah, good choice. Great stuff. Glenn says, Muddy, Dave shaves his legs. Listen, my legs will remain off camera, so don't worry about it. That's for a different website, not YouTube. So yeah. And you should all be very thankful for that. Money H2O says, and then some. I just want to let everyone know, Money H2O does not know about my shaving routines. So yeah, he's presuming right now. So yeah, just to be aware, unless he's subscribed to that other website. But anyway, I don't think he is. And Ryan says, yeah, PRS don't do relics. They fade over time though. Very cool. Yeah. As I said, I don't know why. Just thought about it today. Why don't PRS do relics? Not that I'd buy one, because I don't really like the whole relic thing, unless the guitar is 40 or 50 years old. But there you go. Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Having said that though, I am probably going to have to pick up a relic guitar at some point in the next year or so, because I've mentioned it so many times on the channel that I'm not really into relics and never had a relic guitar. So I know people have said in the comments, you don't know what you're talking about, and they're usually right. But yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. This year, I think there's another round of Venteras coming, road worn stuff. So I'll wait and see what they're coming with those. That could be not correct information though. I'm not 100% sure. Marcia says, who else wears their Glory Hole shirt every Saturday, assuming it's not in the laundry? Yeah, it's a good question. And speaking of Glory Holes, which is a Steel Panther song, by the way, if anyone's just new and doesn't know what we're talking about, there is new t-shirts to replace your Glory Hole t-shirts, just in case, that one got messy at the last visit. You can check out this pink one. It says Gibson Play Authentic and has a flying V on it. I mean, V style, it's got a thing on it. If you don't like pink, you can get this beautiful greenish color, and there's a bluish color in the vest, this type of thing. There's many other colors, so check out the links in the description below. There's also other t-shirts and apparel, I guess you'd call them. It's a great way to support the channel, as is all the things in the links below. So check all of those out, and hit the links. If you're shopping on Amazon for anything, you can click my link, and it kicks back to Amazon. Amazon kicks back to the channel, like, I know, a couple of %. Doesn't cost you anything, and I get to see what you guys buy on Amazon. So some of you buy weird stuff on Amazon. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Todd. I'm just kidding. It doesn't tell me what you buy or who is buying stuff by the link, but if you do click it, it does help the channel. So just think of that. If you're on any other YouTube channel, if they got links, you're helping them out. So definitely think about that when you're on YouTube. Ryan says, just got the call, picking the Beato up tonight. Very cool, Ryan. That should hopefully be a very cool experience. Let us know how you like it once you do get your hands on it. A little bit jealous, not gonna lie. Glenn says, damn Marcia, I forgot to put anything on on again. Let me get up and grab my shirt. Don't get up, Glenn, just in case things get on camera and stuff. But you're all good. You make me laugh so much, man. Scott says, you could post a pic of it, Dave, if Dave had a functional FB page. It's not just me that has the Facebook page. I don't know what's going on. Apparently Facebook made a change to pages, and my page now apparently has the new profile or custom profile page or something. I know I was talking to someone in work about it, and they were like, yeah, you can change it back, but then it's just going to come back to this thing, so you have to figure it out. And I keep forgetting that it's not working properly, so I haven't gone to check it out. But if I figure it out, I will let you guys know, I promise. But apparently, yeah, it's something to do with Facebook has made a change. Hopefully they will fix it. Marcia says, sexy satin legs, Glenn. They're actually products for making legs look like satin. I bet someone is going to find one and mail it to Dave. Wouldn't surprise me, Marcia. Yeah. They are, they're going to do it. I know exactly the person who's going to do it as well. So, damn it. Let me see what we've got here. Al says, mine got ripped while working in the yard. I have the Gibson shirt, but please, Dave, Gillan shirts. You can drive a truck through the arm sleeves and it fits like a tank. So yeah, the shirts are, whoever makes the shirts, that's decided by Teespring, who I have the designs with at the minute. By the way, Al, thank you so much for buying the shirts. That's super cool. But yeah, they're doing that. I'm looking for a new service to do the shirts through because they're actually a pain in the neck to work with, and you know, stupid things like when I do decide to take a payout, it takes them 3 weeks to send me the money, which is ridiculous because they're only paying me by PayPal. So things like that. Putting new designs up is a pain as well. All in all, they're just not a very good company to work with. So no endorsement for Teespring for me, but yeah, I'll bear that in mind, that better shirt quality, because a couple of times when I've bought shirts off other YouTubers, Phil McKnight, all the print wore off after just a few washes. The Casino Guitars one actually was really good. That's still in good shape. I wear that quite a bit. However, I've lost a good bit of weight over the last year, and it's now looks way too big for me, so I don't wear it too much anymore. But yeah, that shirt was actually really good quality. So, and they're both through Teespring. My Geek Lord shirt, I didn't buy one of his shirts, honestly. But anyway, yeah, new t-shirt company, I think I'll be adding soon. But thanks for that feedback, Al. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for your shirt. I'll try and work something out for you. Glenn says, when Geek Lord talks about him getting signature guitar, the specs are so outrageous it puts the price in Murphy Lab territory. I haven't heard him talk about signature specs. I'm gonna have to hunt for that video and see what I can put together. But anyway, Ryan says, Scott, I think you can still put up a pic. I'll try anyway. Yeah, if you can, that'd be super cool. And as I said, I'll try and figure it out over the next week or so. Al says, has anyone bought a concert shirt, Gildan, where it fits right? I couldn't tell you. I haven't bought a concert shirt in a few years now. So Ryan says, I saw a guy shaving in the Tim Hortons sink today. Interesting. There you go. Yeah. Things you don't see every day. Dean McGaskill is here. Good to see you, Dean. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for dropping into us. Marsh says, oh no, it tore. That's why Dave needs to permanently make limited edition shirts available to regulars. We will eventually need replacements. Well, you know, maybe I'll work on something like that. Limited edition shirts will probably make a comeback at some point. So if the ones that have been limited, I mean, you're talking about one limited edition shirt, really, aren't you? Because there is only one that's sold in huge numbers. So there you go. Scott asking, was he shaving his face? And Marcia says, I hope it was his face. You've clearly never been in public bathrooms, because as you see all sorts of things. Just kidding. But yeah, absolutely. Richard Virginia says, the Beato guitar is only worth 1,000. I can see your point. It is a special. So, I can see why people wouldn't want to pay more than that. I think at some point it'll settle around 1,500 or 1,600. I think that's the price it's going to be in the secondhand market eventually. But not for a while. There's going to be more profits to be made on it in the secondhand market for the first while. Ryan says, well, when I walked in, it was his face. Can't say about before or after. There you go. When does the show start? The show starts. Yes, and Muddy H2O was referring to a comment that I got during the week. Let me see if I can find it. Or maybe I deleted it. No, I didn't. All right, sweet. Can I go over there? No. All right, let me just try and get this here and show you. No, not just that desktop picture. Why would I want to do that? Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Actually, this is what I'll do. All right. So bear with me there. You guys might have seen it. There was a comment on last week's live stream. Reluctant to call it a show now, but that's how it goes. This gentleman did not appreciate the show. And this is what he had to say about it. And you can see there. Honestly, I don't know how anybody, you least of all, makes it through this show. As you can see there, I just said, glad he shared that with us and have a great day. But yeah, so some people don't like Chord Dave Live. That's fine. There's been 47 episodes before this one, and people keep coming back. So some people like it, and in fact, some people give me shit when I don't do a show. So just saying, it's all good. Not everybody likes everything, so it's fine. But that's what somebody's talking about there in his comment. And you know, I love you guys who do watch the show and who do come and join us. And I know some weeks are better than others, and sometimes it's not good. I don't think it's a great show every week, but some days we have really good shows. So I do appreciate you guys coming in and joining me for the show and enjoying it enough to come back. But hey, as I said, people won't like everything you do. Anyways, let's rock on here. So Scott says, Rick, the temp from the 90s, much music should get a signature guitar for being called temporarily for like 13 years on TV. I'm possibly there's lots of reasons to get signature guitars. Being on YouTube and having a beard, that is what I think should qualify you to get a signature guitar. But you know, if you saw the video about the Beato guitar, I made my pitch. I don't think Gibson, they haven't called yet. Maybe they're just discussing it and trying to decide how many thousand copies of my signature they're going to put out there. We'll see. Hopefully the call will come Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you guys know next week. Glenn says 25 likes and Dave will shave his legs live tonight. Which Dave? Somebody else? Because it's not me. No, I shaved mine this morning. Margaret with the super chat. Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate that so much. That says, we like your show. Thank you, Margaret. I like you, so thank you so much. That is super cool of you. Appreciate it, and it means a lot. It does when you guys say stuff like that. So thank you. Where's my chat's gone? There we go. Ryan says, I remember the Rick the Temp. He won a contest for a Jeep and they hired him. There you go. That's not too bad. I have no idea who it is though, myself, to be honest. So there you go. And Mark says, oh yeah, I saw the guitar that mentioned the Kiefer signature. I had no idea. Yeah, he was, I think he mentioned it years ago on a Norm's Rare Guitars visit. He popped up on one of their videos and talked about his signature guitar. Dean McCaskill says, I remember Rick the Temp. There you go. And Scott says, Gloss Body or Satin Neck is a good hair/glam metal band name. Yeah, that's not too bad. Al says, best name of a song, Southern Hospitality, is Fried Neck Bones and Home Fries. I can get with that, yeah, for sure. Dean says, hey, 3 Chord, have you read that QT Once Upon a Time book? Just picked it up. Is it worth the time? I haven't gotten around to it yet, no. It's been on my to-read list, and there's a lot of stuff there that I haven't got around to. I'm terrible for buying books and not getting around to read them for about a year, so it's just what I will do. But I've flicked through it. I've read a couple of chapters like before I bought it, and it seems pretty interesting. So if you like his movies, I think you'll like the book. But having said that, haven't actually cracked it open myself yet. I currently am reading, still trying to get through the Dave Grohl songwriter book because I haven't had much time with it. As I've said last week, and I don't want to bring it up too much, but had a rough month or so. So I haven't been reading as much as normal. So still on the Dave Grohl book and still on Cat's Cradle, the Kurt Vonnegut book at the same time as well. So going between those two. So yeah, if you want to wait, I'll let you know in probably about 6 months whether it's a good book or not. Marcia says, Scott, you could also combine them into a single name, Glossy Body, Satin Neck. There you go. Todd says, well, Dave, maybe we need to see a TCD NFT. Oh, no way. The TCD GH NFT limited run of 69 pieces. Yeah, all right, Todd, we'll do it. Actually, on Teespring, they're like, you can make NFTs. Really? People are going to Teespring to buy NFTs, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I'll make them 25 cents. No one's going to lose any money. 69 pieces. I like your style, Todd. I like your style. Good stuff. Glenn says, last week I heard that Dave was buying a PRS. What happened? It was a vicious rumor that Smutty H2O started. But you can pretty much take it for granted that each week Dave is looking at his bank account, looking at the crypto markets, and looking at guitars and being like, can I buy it? Will I get in trouble if I buy this one? Probably will. So, but it's almost there. We're almost ready to dive back into the market. I have a couple of things on, what do you call it? With my eye on, let's just say that. Let me see. Muddy H2O says, Glenn, he opted to buy the Super Platinum Plus limited edition signature Joe Bonamassa Nutcrackers instead. Indeed I did. You can't even find them online, so it's a good choice, I think. Ryan says, I'd be in for Gibson Flying D for Dave. I like that, Ryan. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's super cool of you. And yeah, it means a lot. Thanks a million. And yeah, listen, Gibson, Ryan's in for the Flying D, so I think you should give me that call. I'm free Monday, so actually I'm not, but I'll make time. Dean says, anyone in Canada want to trade an ebony Gibson SG Standard for a special junior or red standard? I nearly said STD, and that's not what you're trying to give people. But I hope. But yeah, there you go. So anyone want to trade a standard an SG Standard for a special junior or a red standard? There you go. Good question. If anyone does, hit up Dean there. Glenn says, I feel you get called Gary all the time. I don't get called Gary too often. It does happen, but no, not too often. Mark is the big one, and there's Mark and I don't know, Doug now, I guess, is the new one. Butterfly Effect is here. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for dropping in. Always good to see you. Always good to see the same folks coming back. Always good to see new folks as well, but it's super cool for me to see people come back week after week after week. It means you like it, and that means more to me than someone in the comments of a video saying they didn't like it, by the way. So it's super cool of you guys. Margaret says, everyone has a double and yours is named Mark. It must be. He must be, yeah, for sure. He's probably the rich one. But all good. Glenn says, I thought Dave was buying the Bonamassa cat food dish. You never know. It could be on its way. It could be next week's review video. We will see. Al says, I actually saw my doppelganger on a previous job from a previous job. That was weird. That is weird. Oh well, Al. Yeah, I was watching a video one time. I can't remember what it was about. And the reason why is because I saw a dude. I was like, that's me. Why am I in this video? Like, that was shot in Chile or Argentina or somewhere like that. So anyway, yeah, it's weird when you see someone that looks just like you. Also, my mom was in a supermarket a couple of months ago, and she was like, yeah, I saw you in the supermarket. I was like, I wasn't there. And she was like, I saw this guy, he looked just like you. Wasn't me. So anyway, I don't think I was in the town at all at the time. So, or I was working. That's what it was. I was at work. So anyway, weird. There's someone walking around just like me. I don't know. Artemis is here. Good to see you, Artemis. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for dropping in. And Scott says, my Dave Davison WR7 Mahogany Jackson Pro Series Signature Warrior is the lightest electric guitar I've ever held. Very cool. Very cool. If that's the lightest, you need to get one of those Fender cardboard. Didn't they do a cardboard guitar a few years ago? I think there's a video on YouTube. But yeah, check out that one. But that sounds interesting, Scott. I'm sure it's a cool one. Muddy says, I will be selling NFTs for for a picture of Dave's future toupee. Not likely. Who wants in on the action? Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, people want to wear toupees. Good luck to them. I could not pull off such a look, so I went with the aerodynamic look instead. Get an idea of that. All I want. Al says Tim Pierce constantly plays over songs, but he's not monetized. He's well connected though. Yeah, he's all good. And Ryan says, I like those orange pedals. Those sound good. I like those custom guitars they made too. Yeah, those are cool. Unless there's new ones. But anyway, that I haven't seen yet. Richard Virginia says, gotta go. Have a great weekend, everyone. Richard, thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you again. John N says, hey Dave and gang. Good to see you, John. Hope you're well. And Glenn says, have a good one, Richard. There you go. See, Glenn's a nice person. Sometimes. Anthony says, I get triggered by relic'd guitars. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And you know who gets relic'd or who gets triggered more is people who love relic'd guitars and you say I don't like them. Oh, the comments I've had over the last couple of years about that. But hey, everyone's free to have their own opinion, right? Unless they make YouTube videos about that opinion and then they get just ripped to shreds. It's all part of the fun. Glenn says, does anyone have a pickup maker that you favor over others? Me, I can't stay away from Seymour Duncan. I mean, you should stay away from Seymour Duncan, otherwise he'll get a restraining order. Yeah, I like Seymour's. They're pretty cool. They would be the first ones I look at. But apart from that, I mean, I wouldn't say I have. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if there wasn't Seymour's in a guitar for me. But if I'm replacing pickups, I'd probably go with Seymour's before others, or I'd look at them before others. Unless it was like a spec thing, like with the Flying V, I needed to put back in the original Gibson pickups that were in it. That was just, I wanted to have it as original as possible. So yeah, that's how I would look at that. Yeah, Duncans are cool. Al says, the guy on 60 cycle home took his Silver Sky SE, put fret marker stickers over the birds and relic'd stickers on the body. My opinion, it looked stupid, but he liked it. Those stickers, the relic stickers, so if you don't want to actually relic your guitar, you can buy stickers that make it look like you relic them. And I think Phil X did a thing at NAMM for them, the promo. Man. Yeah, I'm with you, Al. I think they look stupid. I just like, if you're going to relic it, relic it. If you're not going to relic it, just don't put a sticker that makes it. That's the worst kind of relic job, where it's a sticker. But anyway, some people like it. I don't even know how much they charge for those stickers. I bet you they're expensive. Let me see. Muddy says, Glenn, what kind of pickup you looking for? And Glenn says, I'm not looking, but I'm thinking DiMarzio. Wrong answer. I'm just kidding. And then Muddy's trying to sell some pickups, I think. So he's like asking PAF style single coils. And there you go. So Glenn says, no Pelham Blue chips and tees. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Maybe Teespring didn't have that option, but I did look. I'll have to click the link to find out. And Richard says, I thought that was a Flying A. I think I'm just going to leave that one alone. Flying something. Scott says, the only thing YouTube gave me grief over was a Beatles cover I did for someone who lost their daughter to suicide. Well, that's a sad story. I won't take it down for anything. I also don't make money and get 15 views per video. That might be something. There you go. Al says, Dave, I complained about the shirt, but I'll still support you. Hey, you should complain about it. If it's bad quality, they're making me look bad. So absolutely, I will get on to them. Yeah, for 100%, because they are supposed to be good quality shirts. But hey, I will get on to them, Al, and listen, we'll see what we can do. Glenn says, Muddy, single coil for my slick T-style. I bet you he's got one he can send you. I bet you. Wait and see now. Ryan says, I got to get one of those shirts. Play authentic. Shouldn't put that. Renee de Jong is here. Great idea, and make a flying T upside down version of a flying anti-T. I like that, Renee. I like it a lot. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, and always good to see folks like yourself dropping in. So thanks for dropping in. Muddy says, Cavalier makes fantastic telepups and he's probably got shares in that company, so be careful. Cute goth cousin. One time. Is it true Dave's buying a PRS? No. Uh, Ryan says, yes, Dave's buying a black PRS. I would if they'd bring out that Tremonti Explorer style PRS, but apparently it's not going to happen. So what can you do? Thanks, Muddy. I'll look into those. Al says, had the same issue from Know Your Gear shirts. Guitar House in Tulsa makes some great shirts and they fit beautifully. Very interesting. I'll look into that. Because obviously what happens there with Teespring is once you order a t-shirt, it gets printed, it gets sent to you. There's no stock anywhere of shirts. But so yeah, I'm looking for someone to do it better. So maybe I'll check out Guitar House, see if they can help me out a little bit. I don't know, but we'll find out something. Al says Bukovac had a video showing them being made. Oh, interesting. Very cool. I'll have to look that up. Artemis says, if I ever change my Tele pickups, I will replace my bridge pickup with Seymour Duncan hot lead stack. Love the sound of Jeff Buckley's Tele. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Scott says, hey, cute goth. And I would say, please, Scott, do not encourage Mr. Bailey. Because right underneath that comment, I Love Black Guitars says, when we see the Pelham Dave blue tees? I mean, you know, next week, probably, or the week after, or the week after that, or maybe the week after that. One of the weeks. Marsh says, Dave, don't forget to send Phil McKnight a TCD shirt so he will give you a shout out during his weekly live stream. It's on the list. I have it written down several places. I keep forgetting. But thanks for the reminder, Marcia. That's super cool, and I will definitely try to remember it. Muddy says, still waiting for the limited edition greatest name on YouTube shirt. My birthday was 2 months ago. You just wait, sir. You just wait. That's in the works. But yeah, good. Just wait. I'll figure something out. Don't worry. Al says, by the way, the Glory Hole shirts fit great. Thanks, Al. Appreciate that. And the new people are like, what did you just say? Steel Panther song, that's all. Don't worry about it, it's all good. And he will send you merch in return too. Absolutely, merch. Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I mean, it's on my to-do list. I just keep losing my to-do list lately in particular. Ryan says, I wore a hole in my Glory Hole shirt. Oh, Ryan, you got to be more careful. Marcia wants to know where the hole is. All right, guys, that's not for this channel. That's for the other channel. Glenn says, that sounds like a good shirt, Muddy. There you go. There you go. Of course, Muddy H2O wants that because he has the greatest name on YouTube. And I've always said that ever since he started knocking around here and giving me abuse. So thanks for that, Muddy. Appreciate it. Al says, if you're getting some complaints, you're doing something right. Must be doing something right on YouTube for a long time. Anthony says, F that guy, didn't like the show. Yeah, I'm still out of weed. It's all good. Listen, people are going to not like the show, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I just don't understand the thought process of, I don't like this. I'm going to tell the person I don't like it. Just change the channel, man. It's cool. Nobody cares if you don't like it. You know, lots of people do like it, and that's all that matters. But anyway, it's all good. Ryan says, I'm too embarrassed to say, Marcia. Well, there you go. That was weird. Todd says, of course, it's not always the best show, Dave. I miss some weeks. That's true, Todd. You do. And I'd appreciate if you would not miss weeks in future, because then it'll be better shows. And Marcia says, oh, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Speaking of weed, where did Todd go after he said it was 4:20 time? He was, you know, he was just working hard, getting things set up. And he says, Todd says to Anthony, sorry to hear of your woes, and who the hell wouldn't like this lot? It's a good question. And Todd, of course, he's back. He's just creeping. That's what he does. It's all good. Renee says, finally, someone talking about weed. It happens. It happens. Yeah, you know, Todd's off in space because, you know, the weed. Al says, I watched the first episode of the current Rings of Power, hated it. Lead character is unlikable. I watched it too, Al, and I haven't watched the second episode, so I think I'm on the same page as you there. There you go. Marge says, Renee, you can bring it up anytime. No need to wait until someone else brings it up. 420, Glory Holes, Geek Lord, etc. Yeah, pretty much most things are brought up at some point in your show. Debo says, just have to settle with my pain meds. There you go. And Dean says, Cat's Cradle is a great book, as is anything by Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah, absolutely. It's the first book of his I've read, actually. I think. I don't remember reading any of his before, but I was recommended by someone not too long ago, and I started reading it and then put it down and stopped because I was busy with other things, and I just started it again the other day, and yeah, I really like the style, actually. So if you haven't read Vonnegut, you could check it out. I think it's got a pretty nice style. So anyways, I'll hopefully finish that in the next week. Todd says, for those who do indulge, apple fritter is the V. Best I've ever tried. There you go. Reading the next comment as well. So there you go. So, I mean, I can't get anything like that around here in legal manners, so I will say no more. So anyway, Scott says, Flying D, that's nasty. Yes, indeed. Gibson Flying D in tickled pink satin finish. There you go, Todd, bringing the class to the stream. I like it. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for that. The Flying D, I'd love them to bring that out. That'd be excellent. Scott says, what would it take for Jackson to reissue the Roswell Rhodes V? It's a good question. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to see. I'm pretty sure that it would sell really, really well. So hopefully they will at some point. Anthony says, 26 people here and only 6 likes. Come on, smash that like button. Well, that must have done the trick, Anthony, because we currently have 26 likes and 28 people here. So yeah, thanks for the shout and for getting everybody to click the button. Muddy says, Flying D might bring back too many flashbacks to Dave's high school years for him to handle. It's all good. All the flashbacks are, blurry anyway. T-Ball says, us bald white guys all look alike. So I believe, yes. Yeah, because actually ever since I've shaved my head, I do get I think I saw you the other day. A lot more often. But there you go. Here's to the shiny heads, like myself. Excuse me. Todd says, T-Ball, yes we do. It's a good look. Everyone just kind of tries to replicate it. That's what's going on there. T-Ball says, you want a nice smooth finish? Chemo does the trick. Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. Don't recommend it though. It's brutal. I'm sure, Anthony. Listen, glad you're through the other side of that as far as that goes. Glenn says, I found a guy that looks like Dave here in the USA and almost got banned from the channel when finds another you. It's okay. Listen, that guy doesn't look like me at all right? He had at least, I'm going to say he had at least 4 inches to go. So yeah. Anyway, just watch it, Glenn. T-Ball says, nothing says I'm a tool like relic stickers. Couldn't have said it better. Todd says, T-Ball, I've seen the effect on family members. I wish you the best possible outcome. Always hold on to hope. Indeed. And Scott says, I want relic'd guitar cases. In that I want a case that looks road worn but still as reliable as a new case. It's an interesting one, actually. Yeah, that would be much more sensible. And T-Boss says, thanks to Todd. Keep pushing on. Corey's here. Good to see you, Corey. Hope you're doing well. Corey got some nice guitars this week. Let me tell you, he shared a couple with me. And very cool stuff indeed. So sorry I'm late. No such thing as late around here. I've been tied up working on a mini V that I acquired and missed the start of the show. I don't forget to hit all those buttons for Dave. Indeed, hit all those buttons. Appreciate that, Corey. Thanks for dropping in. And Ryan says, I'd like relic guitar strings. That's an interesting one for sure. Muddy H2O with yet another super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, hey Dave, new sub here. I was handed down a black Les Paul from my father's great grandfather's brother's step cousin's uncle. It means the world to me. How do you feel about black guitars? I love them. I think they're the best thing ever. I think I think there's some vicious rumors going around about me and black guitars, but I think it's a great guitar, and enjoy yourself. And thank you so much for joining us now that you're a new sub. For those of you who are new subs, Money H2O is not a new sub, but he is in many ways a sub. But anyway, it's all good. We love him around here. Todd says, Corey, hi, don't worry. I always push Dave's buttons. Yep. Dean says, I'm looking for good PAFs to replace 61 or and T in my LP Classic. Whoever is out there that sells pickups. Interesting, yeah. Be good. Probably will be some good recommendations coming out to you, I'm sure. Anthony says, I have a black PRS and no, you can't have it, Dave. Too bad, Anthony, because I would have been all over that. But hey, it's all good. Actually, my brother has a black guitar. I was going to get it and just put it behind me here today just for shits and giggles, and I completely forgot. So there you go. Next week. Actually, I better leave it a couple of weeks now and throw it up there behind me. But anyway, it's all good. Ryan says Burst Booker 2s are nice. I'll need to go to Seymour Duncan's also. Indeed, I would agree with both of those. Scott says I support his multiple personalities. I'm just saying. This is why this is why I need some more mods, I think, on the channel. Glenn says, thank you, Scott, I'm glad someone understands me. Well, we'll see. Dean says, I have 2 LPs with Burst Bookers. I really like them. I'd like to try something else though. Very cool. And Al says, check out Dylan Talks Tone. He makes pickups and all kinds. I bought the DAFs, his PAFs, and they're great. So there you go. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, he does a good job making pickups, and he's also boycotting Harley Benton, which I think is funny. I think it's funny just that you mentioned the DAFs, which are his PAFs, and he's complaining about a company making guitars that look like other companies' guitars. Anyway, it's a whole thing, but yeah, his pickups are pretty good from what I can tell. Glenn says, watch out, Marsha, the last time you got close to the hole, you lost your guitar pick. I do worry about new viewers to this channel. I really do. Like, everything's fine in the recorded videos, just the regular videos. They come to the live stream because I mentioned them so much in there, and then they're like, what are they talking about? But like, once you stick around for a while, you get the gist of it, and it's cool, and I think people enjoy the humor. But it's just at first, I'm sure it's kind of like, what's going on? Dean says, I looked at them, I've talked to him a few times. Maybe I'll go with that. There you go. Interesting. Renee says, I was just done with cutting some green stuff. It smells like Christmas over here. There you go. Christmas is around the corner. I'm glad you're getting that. Getting onto that early, Renee. So good stuff. Enjoy yourself. It's Saturday night. Why not? Ben says, so hearing the guitarist mention you more than once this week in his video this past week. Yeah, Colin. I'm not sure if he caught up with me a few times or if he forgot he mentioned me a few times. But yeah, I appreciate that so much. He's a super cool video, and some nice things he said. So appreciate that. He's super cool. If you're not subscribed to Guitarist, do it. He's very cool. Videos are great. Love him. Ryan says, I prefer the apple cinnamon donut to apple fritter. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. Let me see what we've got. William Forrest says, what about relic'd guitar players? Well, yeah, I'm one of them. So yeah, I'm on team relic'd guitar player. Not so much relic'd guitar, but there you go. And Ben says, so nice hearing. Yes, indeed. And Ben says, howdy everybody, I'm late, but we'll rewind and watch a Raw. Listen, there's no such thing as late, but yeah, feel free to watch from the start. Watch it on twice the speed, because then you just have to listen to me for half the time and read the comments. Go a bit faster than I suppose at that point. Anyway, where am I? Glenn says, Renee rolling up the pine and playing guitar. That's what Saturday is made for. It is indeed. Scott says, no, I want a new version of Keith Richards. I'm pretty sure the original Keith Richards is going to be around forever, so it's all good. No pictures of a mint Keith exist, Scott. Indeed. He was born looking like that. Indeed he was. Let me see, where are we now? Oh, don't be telling Muddy you spit out your coffee listening to him. Come on, that's as I said. Don't be supporting such creativity on the channel here. Todd says, Glenn, you are correct, sir. Here in the Pines, it gets mighty loud on Saturday. As it should indeed. Ryan says there's a guy on PRS Facebook painted his 10 top over in satin black. Why? Why would he do that? What? Why would he do that? That's crazy. Did you guys see the PRS videos they put out, the new factory tours? Those are pretty cool. I enjoyed those, and would very much like to like just go and check out the PRS factory someday myself. But there you go, goals. Alan says, so shows stupid is not uncommon. Painting over 10 top is pretty stupid. Anyway, Jess is here. Good to see you, Jess. Thanks for dropping in. Says, hey Dave, I just been to see a cover band in my local. The guitarist seriously needed to intonate his guitar all a little bit out. That's very common. Very common on my channel as well. But yeah, that is common with cover bands for sure. But hey, thanks for coming back from the local to check out 3 Chord Dave live. Appreciate that, Jess. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Scott says, damn, that's unprofitable after that. It is. And Muddy says, check out Wolf Tone pickups. They made incredible sounding PAFs. So there you go. Yeah, I've heard those are great, actually. That is a good shout. Weirdly enough, coming from Muddy. Ben says, sorry if you guys already talked about this, but what are your thoughts on the Joe Strummer, Dave? So much like in the video that I did, like, I like that they're doing it. I think it's a cool guitar. I think it's cool they're making relic'd guitars for those who like relic'd guitars for sub $2,000. But it's not a guitar I would pick up myself. Going by Colin's video on Guitaristas, it sounds great and plays great. So he was very, very happy with it by the looks of it and what he was saying. So I think if you're a Joe Strummer fan, and you should be, if you're a Clash fan, if you are into relic guitars and you don't have 10 grand lying around to buy a Murphy Lab, then this looks like a really cool option. So yeah, I like it. It's not for me, but it's I like that it's out there and available for people who do want to pick up something like that. My favorite thing they did though in the whole guitar was pointing out we made custom Joe Strummer pickups to sound like his exact instruments. Like, that's the whole point. You're trying to make a signature guitar, but they actually called themselves out and were like, we actually try to make it sound like his guitar this time. So I like that they're idiots, but yeah, I like it to be honest with you. But yeah, as you just said, you've seen Guitarist's video. I think he did a really good demo of that guitar. It looks fantastic. And if you're into Joe Strummer or the Clash, you couldn't have a better guitar. Anthony says, so Dylan is boycotting Harley Benton. They all copy each other. If that's the case, he would boycott 98% of every guitar brands. I mean, hey, in that case, he should be boycotting PRS for a certain guitar they released this year, right? Because it's a copy of a certain Fender. But of course, he's not. He loves that guitar. So there you go. It's fine. It's fine. But you know, people like to jump on bandwagons. I think that's what it is there. Todd says, I'll ask my supplier about that strain. There you go. I didn't know what you're talking about there for a second, but there you go. Dylan says, if you like HB, buy it. He did make a video though saying not to, or that he was boycotting them at one point, and he may have taken it down. I don't know. I don't watch him regularly, but when I do watch him, it always tends to be one of those ones I disagree with. So there you go. Matt says this channel should get some sort of payoff from Steel Panther for introducing people to their over. It's every week. It is every week. Like, yeah, Steel Panther, if you're out there, you are welcome. I'll have to try and see if I can find contact info for Satchel somehow. I've been reaching out to folks trying to get them on the channel lately, and some people who might know people like Satchel. So hopefully we'll get somebody like that on at some point. To have some members of Steel Panther would actually be the coolest thing. And to see the comments go, it'd just be hilarious. Anyway, Todd says, I did watch the PRS factory tour. Good stuff. Good stuff. glad you watched it, Todd. Yeah, it was cool. Enjoyed that during one of my lunch breaks this week. So I just, yeah, it's just nice to see what they're doing different with the necks, the two different styles that they put together and everything, and how they're using their machinery and everything. A different approach to some companies do it. I like what they're doing though. It's very cool. Ryan says, I have no idea why he did paint it over, but I'll post screenshots. He got roasted pretty good. I'm glad he did. That is because yes, ridiculous. Painting over a 10 top, man, that is like a 10 top is one of my bucket list guitars. Like of the I know 5 guitars that I would give up everything for, a 10 top is on there. So we'll see. Hopefully I know that guy should be banned from buying guitars. Anyway, T-Ball, if you check out the PRS factory, hit me up. Maryland is where I live. Very cool, Anthony. That would definitely be cool. Yeah, hopefully in the new year, 2023, we will get some Chord Dave meetups going. London is likely to be the first one, and after that we'll see where I go. But yeah, also NAMM next year is I'm probably going to go to NAMM next year, which is in April. So if anyone finds themselves in that area, then we'll do a meetup. So yeah, should probably get to plan on that, by the way. So anyway, that's just months away. We got loads of time. Someone called Muddy H2O has said Dave's top is a 4 at best. Well, thank you for that super chat, sir. I appreciate it, but that's not true. It's a 5. So let's not be dishonest here. It's a 4.5. It's a 4.5. Thank you, sir. Muddy H2O says, I know a guy that painted a Murphy Lab Les Paul Pelham Blue with a big gold stripe on it. Why? Because he's cool. That's why. I have a feeling it wasn't a real Murphy Lab. That's all I'm saying. And I also have a feeling that it looks great. So that's why. How dare you, sir? T-Ball says, painting over PRS, let alone a 10 top, is just stupid. Yeah, I agree. Benny says, so I've noticed Epiphone prices are going down at Thomann and Gear for Music recently, especially the Crestwood Custom as Wilshire, the Cherry and the Wilshire P90 Ebony and Ebony Flying V Prophecy Gear for Music. 100 euros plus. I know the Slash Les Pauls, they're all being reduced. I think the next order that arrives is being reduced, so they still have some that they're charging $777 for on Thomann, but some of them they dropped down to $699. I think Guitar in the UK are doing all the Slash Les Pauls for $499 in pounds, which works out about $699 after everything, taxes and imports and all that sort of crack because of Brexit. Thank you, Brexit. Thanks so much. But yeah, the Slash ones are all going to be reduced. If you do want to pick up a Slash Epiphone, by the way, and you want a Anaconda Burst or a, what's it called, Vermilion Burst, I believe those colors are being discontinued at the end of the year. So you can get one while they're reduced in the next couple of months or so. But yeah, prices are coming down on Epiphones a little bit. I think it's because they're bringing out some holiday lines in the next couple of weeks, or next month or so. But we'll see. It might also just be they've given some discounts out to dealers, so we'll see. Scott says, Dave, best pickup ever that isn't a Gibson, Epiphone, Fender, Gretsch, so like Seymour's, etc., or Seymour's EMGs, etc. I would go with I like Seymour Duncan's more than others, but specific ones, I don't know, because I do like these ones that I have here, the Vintage Blues ones. I had to look to see the name. And what's the other really popular Seymour Duncan ones that people use? I like Seymour Duncan pickups basically. So yeah, DiMarzios are pretty good as well. So I don't know specific ones. The Antiquity Seymour Duncans as well, those are cool. If you like your relic'd pickups, I suppose. Ryan says, yeah, I told him he turned his 10 top into an S2. He wasn't too happy. I mean, if you painted over a 10 top, why would you tell other people you'd done it? Did he think people would think he was cool? Anyway, Benny says, also the Pelham Blue SG special is down at both. Good Good. I like that. Um, yeah, that's a cool guitar for sure. I'll have to check out some more prices and stuff. I haven't been looking around this last couple of weeks because I don't want to spend anything until that Bonamassa comes out. But we'll see. You never know. Itchy fingers this week. Pelham Blue. New sub here also, Dave. And I also love black guitars. Um, all right, sir. I feel like I genuinely feel like my subscriber count has been artificially pumped up by a certain individual, who I have to say I appreciate. It's all good. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Appreciate you so much. Matt says, good point, T-Wall. Every brand to take from others. HB are an affordable way to try different shapes and styles. I bet a lot of people buy a Fender, Gibson, etc. after trying a HB. I think that's very true. I think it's very true. And Ben says, that's interesting about the Epiphones. Here in Canada, Gibson just jacked up their prices on most models at Long McQuaid anyway. Interesting, yeah. Maybe there's some sales coming soon because they're listing them as like sale prices as far as I can tell. I think Thomann have just they don't really do sales at Thomann. They just put up different prices. Matt Van Bosch says, a member of Steel Panther making an appearance on here would be legendary. It would. It'd be super cool. It's a long way off. It's not going to happen next week or anything, but I said I'm trying to reach out to a couple of people. If I can get a couple of the people I want on, I'm pretty sure one of them or two of them would have a contact or let me know who to contact to try and get that person from Steel Panther on the show. But you never know. I'm trying, guys. So it's very hard to get through to a lot of you. You got to wait for answers and all that sort of stuff. So and Butterfly Effect says maybe it was a fake guitar. If you're talking about the Pelham Blue with the gold stripe, that definitely was. If you're talking about the PRS 10 top, I hope so. I hope it was. Renee says, I have hand-built black bass guitar. Does that count? If it's a bass guitar, probably not. No, just kidding. Renee, yeah, absolutely. If it's all good. Ryan says, cool. I'm going back to Ireland in the spring for a few months. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, definitely when you're here, we'll have to have some beers. If you can make some time, I'd love to hang out and get some beers. So yeah, let me know as early as you can. And we'll just say no 3-Chord Dave live this week. We'll all go on the beer in Dublin. It'll be sweet. So Martian says Steel Panther needs Glory Holes tea. Maybe I'll give them that idea. Yeah, they can have it. Scott says, yeah, Ben, because of Dave, I was able to order a Joe Bonamassa Lazarus before the price increase, even though it wasn't supposed to be released until after the price increase. Thanks, Dave. You're very welcome. I don't know how I managed to help you with that, but I'm glad I did. But it's all good. Dean says, sold my Tone Master twin blonde today. I have way too many amps. Something had to go. It was my least favorite amp. Well, hey, if it's your least favorite, no worries. That's all good. Ryan says, no, it was a real guitar. The guy and guitar are well known. Ah, that's awful. Scott says, Dave, new t-shirt that says 10 on it. There you go, because it's a 10 top. See, I like what you did there. It's all good. Benny says to Matt, that's right. I bought a 7-string baritone HB to try it out. Probably wouldn't have at much higher price point. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. That is, there's lots of folks out there will buy a $300 guitar as a beginner's guitar because they don't know anything about like $2,000 guitars or more, and they don't know if they're going to stick with it. So, or become obsessed with it or whatever. And then they'll probably buy the Gibsons, the Fenders, the PRSs, the Jacksons, the Collings, even if they're a little bit crazy. T-Ball says, I think the COVID guitar boom is slowing down hard. It's slowing down all right, but the secondhand market's actually still doing quite well. Prices are still higher than I thought they would be at this point, but there you go. So you got to make offers and tell people. Although there was a time when I couldn't keep guitars in my wish list on Reverb, and there's 10 in there now that have been there for quite a while. So yeah, maybe people are open to offers a bit more because guitars are sticking around a bit longer than they had been. Let me see. Dean says, I hope so, T-Ball. And Ryan says, I have a screenshot. I'll email it to Dave if he wants to post it. Yeah, absolutely. I can't access that email from... let me see, from my computer. So I'll have to send it to my phone and then get it sent off. Let me see if I can get that, because that'd be interesting to see why he would do that. So it's all good. All right, let me see this abomination of a thing. Downloading. There we go. Oh my God. Yeah, that's horrible. Why? Save images. All right, bear with me, guys. You got to see this, but it's. Let me just warn some people. These ain't pretty. The first picture is pretty. The others not so much. All right, let me get this. Oh, I'm getting spammed on YouTube messages or YouTube comments. So yeah, if you're seeing anything that's saying hello fan, it's not from me. So please just discard that. So on any of my comments, I'm just seeing those come in on my own comments here now. So right, I have that message. What's it called? Screenshot thingy-mabob. All right, cool. All right, and all that was so I could show you this picture that Ryan has just sent me. So let me just get it up here. It's called screenshot. Just prepare yourselves. This is not a pretty. It's not a pretty sight. There you go. So yeah, you can see this is what the PRS 10 top looks like. Pretty nice. Not the best 10 top I've seen, but still very, very nice. And that's then what he turned it into. Which, and he's got EMGs as well. Yeah, all right. No, what was he doing? That is it's a nice 10 top and he's just painting it matte black. Why? Just go and buy another, don't be buying that and then putting EMGs in it as well. Just get that off my screen. Yes, no thank you. But ow, that's yeah. Anyway, if you got a 10 top, please don't do that to it. That's great. Mick Blizzard's here. Good to see you, Mick. Thanks for dropping in. Says, after watching Dave Simpson's review, I'm tempted to buy an East Coast L1 gold top. I haven't seen that particular Dave Simpson. I do watch his videos quite often. He's very cool guitarist. So yeah, big Rory Gallagher fan actually. So yeah, he's a cool YouTuber. If you guys don't watch him, check him out for sure. I'll have to check out that one review though. I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen it, but I'm sure Dave makes it look very cool. T-Ball says, yeah, Dean, yeah, it was getting ridiculous. And Dean says, used stuff 2 weeks old, more than new. Yeah, that can happen too. I love Pell and Blue Guitars. Says, I kind of like you too, Dave. Thanks, Glenn. Jess says to Scott, I'm a huge fan of Toltec pickups made by a guy in Yorkshire. Would really recommend. There you go. I think you may have mentioned that to me before, Jess. So very much would like to check that out. Toltec, and I must do that. T-Ball says the best values are in used guitars. They can be. Until you get someone who buys like a Les Paul Studio and it's like, this is a rare guitar. Pay me twice the price it's actually worth. No, pal. But that happens a lot. If you see the word rare in the title of a guitar for sale, just walk away. Because it's not rare 99% of the time these days. Muddy says, if you buy a Gibson after buying a Harley Benton, you'll quickly realize how much better the QC is on the Harley Benton. I said what I said. Yeah, you did. You did say it. And I agree with you. No, as I've said before, I've been personally quite lucky with Gibsons, so I haven't run into too many major QC issues. I haven't really with Harley Benton either, so yeah, I think it's on par. But yeah, I've heard of a few Gibson QC problems, and not as I've heard of Harley Benton ones, but they get sorted out really quickly. So yeah, no, and it's all good. But anyway, Harley Bentons are like a tenth of the price minimum. So there you go. It's much better. Money says, realize, not release. Damn you, spell check. It's fine. We just assume you don't know how to spell, so don't worry about it. It's cool. The butterfly effect says PRS, and they do indeed PRS. Do indeed like them. And Ryan says, emailed you the pic. Yeah, I'm never going to get over that, Ryan, to be honest. That picture, oh my God, it's so bad. Spell check gets me in trouble. It's got me in trouble a couple of times, actually. Especially when I work in a job where I have to send stuff to people from my company, like customers of my company and so forth. Emails and things. And sometimes spell check changes the word. You know, shot can become a different word. You could say, give that a shot, but that's not what it says when they read the email. So anyway, long story short, I have no job anymore. That's not quite. I'm fine. Just on probation. Renee says, others may have problems playing and I'm a lefty. There you go. Lefties, nothing wrong with them. The problem with lefties is you don't get the choice, unfortunately, that the rest of us righties get, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that's going to get rectified over the next couple of years as well. Jess says to Scott, any diorama chat this week? Are you guys cheating on with a different YouTube channel? Did you just, what? It's fine. I'll just remember it. Chris from Coworks here says, yo, good to see you, Chris. Hope all is well with you. And Matt says, Dave, do you think the next Epi/range will have Gibson pickups? Such heavy discounting on the current range seems to be telling. I don't know, to be honest. I think they had a lot of backlash as well the last time. I still get comments to this day on the video from last summer about why, when I revealed, in the first person to reveal on YouTube that they were Pro Booker pickups. I still get comments to this day saying, but they're custom Pro Bookers, Slash's specs. Come on, man. Slash doesn't even use Gibson pickups in his own guitars. So yeah, I don't know. They might try and spin it again some other way. Pardon the pun, but they do also want to push the whole Epiphone pickups and stuff. So we'll see. Do I think they'll do Gibson pickups? I think what they'll do, honestly, is they'll have a premium Slash signature on Epiphone, and then they'll just have a regular Slash lineup, and the premium one will have Gibson pickups and all sorts of things. Might even have Seymour Duncans. I doubt it, though. They'll just probably try and push to have Gibson pickups in it rather than the Seymour Duncans. But I'd say it'll be early next year. We'll see more additions to the Slash range, I think. Benny says, I think that's Harley Benton, are putting out a new version of the baritone with a poplar wood instead of basswood. Saw it on their site recently, but now it's gone. Now they're leaking themselves, I guess. Yeah, they do that sometimes just to kind of get some excitement going. I think that's where all the Firebird chat started. They put something up and then took it away really quickly, but people had enough time to see it. And yeah, that's gone quiet. The last I heard, they had delayed it, so I don't know. That was weeks ago, so I don't know now what the story is with that. But hopefully they'll get around to it. We'll see. I suppose by the end of the year, if they haven't done it, it's probably not coming anymore. Scott says, nah, Jess, the new topic is my outstanding guitarist management talents, or how I like to call it, how to starve an artist. It does sound like that's what you're doing. T-Ball says, F that guy, ruined that 10-top. Indeed. Has anyone ever seen a nice looking played in PRS though? Not relived, but honest, where I'm not sure I've seen anything like that. That's kind of what I was getting at earlier. People say they fade, so the colors fade and stuff like that, I suppose. I don't know. I'm struggling to see or to remember a badly relic one that I've seen. Maybe they're not old enough. But there you go. Todd says, I love black guitars, but this guy ruined a fine instrument. Indeed. You see, that's what I'm getting at. So it looks nicer when it's, just before he painted it, right? Just saying. Al says, sung to the tune, it's my party and I'll do what I want to. It's my guitar and I'll do what I want to. It's not acceptable now, okay? Glenn says, that's brutal. I like black guitars. Thanks, Dave. I can't see that. How am I supposed to sleep tonight? Can't unsee that. How am I supposed to sleep? Hey, listen, I got to try and sleep sooner than you do, so you got a better chance than I do. William says, the PRS, he's taking the piss. I agree, sir. I agree indeed. Chris says, just got the Ibanez GR 131EX flat black. Look it up. Metal as F. Amazing. Yeah, very cool. Very cool indeed. So enjoy that. I'm sure you will. Glenn says, can't unsee that. Indeed. Scott says, hey, Mick Blizzard. Cheers, Omi. Missed your name. And yeah, good stuff. Ryan says, I don't know why he didn't just get an S2 PRS in satin black. Exactly. Would have been way better. And pissed off a lot less people. So there you go. Matt says that Todd, black guitars are cool. If I ever see a Gibson Chris Cornell signature in black for a reasonable price, I'll buy it. Reasonable price being the difficult part there. Yeah, but that would be cool. I like those guitars a lot. The Chris Cornells are great. Listening to Santana and Chris Cornell do a whole lot of love today. It's incredible version of that. What he says to Glenn, I have some uncensored pics of Dave that will clear that guitar from your mind and everything else. You bought those for private use, not for sharing with others, okay? Just to be clear, Muddy did not buy any pictures that I'm aware of. So, Mike, sorry, I missed your super chat. Mike I says, love my Saturday nights with 3 Chord Dave. Thanks, Dave. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that so much. Super cool of you to say it. And for the super chat, that's amazing. Thank you for that. Sorry, I missed it when it came in. So anyway, yeah, just to be clear, Muddy is not selling pictures of this Dave. Anyway, he may have other Daves. I don't know. T-Ball says, I can't buy a guitar that I haven't played first. In a lot of ways, I don't have a choice. Anthony, in my place, there is a guitar shop not too far away, but it doesn't carry the kind of stuff I like. Yeah, so my last couple of guitars I bought were far away. So I only buy from places that have good return policies. That's the key. And I bought many guitars and returned them and not had a problem. So that's what I do there. Test them out at home. Scott says, my buddy's old RG 550 or something is very metal. I always want an iron label Ibanez. And T-Ball, I've never tried a guitar before buying it, even if it was in an in-store purchase. That's from Scott. So there you go. He's out there on the old testing it at home vibe that I've got going on myself. Benny says, QC has been questionable on 3 out of 3 HBs for me. There you go. Yep. There's always people saying that on the Harley Benton page that they've got a bad one, or there's a couple of groups on Facebook and they're saying the same thing. I've never had a bad one, touch wood, but hopefully you get those sorted out. They do have a no quibble returns policy as far as I'm aware of at home. They've never questioned me, and a couple of times I thought they should have. But anyway, it's all good. Al says, I'm beginning to believe that all of the thousands of Gibsons sold, it's a small percent that are bad, and those customers are holding the company accountable. HB Customs accept the imperfections and are quiet. There's certainly what I would say is there's a higher percentage than is acceptable with Gibson. It is still a small percentage though of the guitars that they make. But yeah, but also they let guitars ship with glaring QC issues just to get them out the door. And I think that's because they put pressure on their staff to reach numbers that are unrealistic. And that's why it happens. Whereas, when you're buying a Harley Benton for $200, you're likely to get something that's 50-50. And so far, there's Benny, he's 3 out of 3. He's had issues with them. I haven't had too many issues, but nothing major. But yeah, you're right. I think once you're paying $200, $300, you are less likely to complain about it so much because you kind of know what to expect. That's what I think anyway. Nal says, all 3 of mine are great. Yeah, I've had no problems with Gibson either myself. Cushman NYC is here. Good to see you, Cushman. Hope everything's good with you. And thanks for dropping in. Glenn says, after seeing the black guitar and those dirties of Dave, you did not see those. I need therapy. Lots and lots of therapy. No, you don't. It's all good. Just relax. It's all good. Ryan says, I've had 6 new Gibsons in the last year or two. All were perfect. Very good, yeah. Anytime I've had one, it's been good. So I can definitely say that does happen. Dean says, I've got 8 Gibsons, Ryan, 6 LPs, nothing wrong with any of them. There you go. No Rolling Rocks here, drinking Becks. I do like Becks from the odd time. Reminds me of Christmas when I was 17 or 18. Used to have Becks in the house all the time. There you go. It's a long time ago nowadays. Glenn says, I have a Gibson I bought new in 2008 and it has no QC issues. I highly doubt that, Glenn. I'm just kidding. And Renee says, glad the Ibanez isn't discussed much because there is nothing wrong with them. I very rarely hear anything like they have the QC issues anyway that I've heard other brands of. So yeah, good point. Excuse me, guys. Dean says, I've got a few Harley Bentons that I ordered for fun. They're great too. They absolutely can be, for sure. And Al says, Muddy may have had multiple issues, but sounds like all was resolved. Muddy has lots of issues, lots and lots of issues. But yeah, some of them he just can't get over. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. They're no Gibson though for the Harley Benton, that's for sure. Kirschman says, Bex is good stuff, Al. Yeah, absolutely. Muddy says, problems are resolved by buying a Hamer and a Collins. Yeah, and he kept one of those guitars so far. So there you go. Ryan says, they used poly finishes up till recently. So they didn't wear easily. I've seen some neurotic Guitarist collection, 30-year-old players with nowhere. That's right. They were using hard poly finishes like a. Yeah, that's why they don't wear as badly as others. I remember seeing something about that recently. Yeah, very, very good point for the PRSs, if anyone was wondering. Cushman says, I love my Rolling Rocks. Yeah, it's a good one too. It's not too bad. Enjoy that one when it rolls into town. Anthony says, Scott, I bought a few without trying them and it didn't work for me. Just not lucky like that. There you go. Yeah, sometimes you got to just take a punt, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Ben says, all you PRS guys out there, how much better is an S2 Mira than the SE? Excuse me. I don't know. I've never played a Mira, but I believe the S2 is supposed to be great, so I don't know. But the SE, I've never had a problem with an SE, so I would say they're both probably great. Scott says, any guitar makers on the Isle of Man? I don't know. The Isle of Man is quite small. Maybe there might be. If there's anyone and they're watching, let us know. Al says, not much better. S2 has a slightly fatter neck, but the parts are mostly the same as the SE. There you go. Wayne McConnell's here. Good to see you, Wayne. Hope you're doing well. And Anthony says, all I have are SEs and love them. Don't really know about the others. Glenn says, I only own an SE and haven't played any other PRS, so can only speak for the SE. So I'm sure he will come back to us. He loves his SE. It's good to hear, Glenn. Yeah, SEs are great. They make really, really good guitars. Let me see. Ben says, thanks for the input. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's it's good when we help each other. I like seeing that. It's good stuff. Al says, the pressure of getting out of the door has been greater since COVID. I think it's getting better. It's slightly slowing down all right now. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, the Harley Bentons I bought were pretty impressive for what I paid for them. Even the B-stock ones. That's from Ben. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's one of the key things is when you're paying smaller amounts of money, you're more willing to forgive things being wrong as well. When you're paying 10 grand for a guitar, there's no excuse for anything to be wrong on it. So that's just my opinion. Al says, it's 7 p.m. here. I'm getting hungry. Time to call out for Chinese. Don't make me hungry. It's too late. Hold on, Al. Dave's calling for a cute goth cousin. Stop it. You're going to get me in trouble. Ben says, I don't love them, but they look fine on the wall. The Harley Bentons, yeah, they do indeed. They make some really nice looking guitars. I think they got some cool stuff coming. I've been saying that for a while, and some of the stuff hasn't appeared yet. So from what I hear, there's great stuff. So keep an eye on it. And NYC, Cushman NYC, I started drinking Rolling Rock back in the 70s as it was available in Pennsylvania. Very cool. T-Ball says, personally, I hope my guitars stay looking new forever. Yeah, I try to do that with mine, to be honest. Magic Mitts says, so where's this much hyped Epiphone Adam Jones LP? If I had $1 for every time someone asked me that question, I would have a couple of $100. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's like the Tony Iommi SG that we did a video about a few weeks ago. It was supposed to be dropping any day, and it still hasn't officially been released. The latest I heard is that they were just waiting to release. Like, all the dealers have them apparently. They're in stock in places. They're just told to hold them. So it'll be in the next month because they're one of their big holiday releases. So you can expect to see it soon. It's definitely coming out this year. So, I mean, as soon as I know it's coming, I'll let you know. But I believe it's going to be in the next few weeks, like next 4 to 6 weeks at the latest. But you could be back in 6 weeks' time saying, why isn't that guitar here yet? Because I don't have any concrete information, but they're nearly here. It's coming very, very soon. So Cushman says, Rolling Rocks are hard to find. The distributor near me stocks them. Thank God, Al. Might be the official beer of the channel if I could get some. Dean says, only issue with Harley I had worth talking about was their ES335 had a dead fret. And they actually refunded me money for and told me to keep it. I fixed the fret in seconds. I even told them, and I'm a fan. Yeah, they do stuff like that all the time. Like, I hear lots of stories there. I've been dealing with Thomann for must be 10 or 12 years, and they've always been really great customer service. Like, they don't question anything. There's like, it's not right? Boom, there you go. Dean McCaskill says, I told them after I fixed it and they insisted. Well, there you go. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They have great customer service. I can't say anything else than that. Muddy says, how do you feel about Mojo Shop custom guitars, Dave? Well, Muddy H2O, that's actually Muddy H2O's favorite YouTube channel of all time. So I can't compete with Muddy's love for Mojo Shop custom guitars. Look up the guy's channel. It's a channel. It is a YouTube channel. That's what I will say. As for the guitars, they got a sticker. So there you go. It's all. What else do you want? And Marcia says, I'm still here, guys. I'm just watching Huey while listening because it looks like he has to puke. Okay. Well, I hope you're also wrong. But thanks, Marcia, for joining us. And Glenn says, Huey, I hope he's okay. When my dog does that, I stop everything. Absolutely not a cool thing. And Ben says, I'm just browsing the Long McQuaid site and they still have a ton of Tony Iommi Monkey SGs in stock. 3,100 Canadian. Yes, the Epiphone ones that are coming out though, that I made the video about, they are going to be very soon. For about, what did I say in the video? $8.99 I think they're coming out at. So in Canadian, I think you're looking at what? 12? 11 something? Anyway, some amount of dollars. Let me see. Ryan says, Ben, were those a limited run? The USA ones, I don't think were. Todd says, gotta jump off. Peace and love, TCD family, until next week. Indeed, we're just wrapping up, Todd, so good to see you. Thanks for dropping in, and we will see you next week. Ben says, I think so. There have been a few up on the used site that I passed on. Now I'm wishing I didn't because of the price hikes. Yeah. These were pretty cool guitars for sure. Al says, about 2. Peace and love, Dave. Yeah, thanks, Al. Appreciate that. And Ryan says, Thomann sounds good. Long McQuaid red flagged me after I returned 1 guitar. Wow, really? Yeah, Thomann haven't red flagged me. And they still answer my emails if I have a question about anything. So they're very, very cool indeed in terms of that. So yeah, reach out to them. They'll answer you no matter where you are. And they will ship to Canada. I think they charge different rates, but they will. You should check them out. Let me see. See ya all. See ya, Al. In fact, yes, Glenn. And let me see. Magic Mitts says, slight change of subject, but has anyone tried Sub-Zero amps? I haven't myself, Magic Mitts, but good question. Maybe I'll have to look into that and maybe come back to you next week because I haven't tried them myself. Muddy says guitars are cool, and he's just pretending. He doesn't know. Glenn says Dave is cool. He's just pretending. He doesn't know. Thanks for that, Glenn. I appreciate that. Grandpa Joe says, cheers all. Have a great week. See you all then. Indeed. Grandpa Joe, thanks for dropping in. And peace, love. and lots of cool stuff. Great show, guys. Thank you so much for everybody for joining me, for having some fun on this channel, and you know, checking out this monstrosity. Yes, that is a horrible guitar, but in fact, hey, it's good to know we're taking better care of our guitars. Anyway, guys, it's been great. Thank you so much to everybody. Thanks for all the super chats and all the support on the channel. It means a lot to me. You guys are super cool. You're the best community on YouTube. I'll be back with another guitar related video next week. And until then, take care.